Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, I think one of the major questions I see coming in on my various Volca videos is how do you get the key step, stop, record, play buttons to not trigger the sequencer functionality on the Volca? So, quick example of that. Right now, I have the key step set in art mode and I have it off. So, if I want to get an ARP going, it's like, okay, I have to push play on the key step to enable it. But if I do so, it's going to trigger the sequencer. So how do I get my key step set up where it's not gonna, these buttons won't trigger on the the sample or your other Volcas? Well, thankfully, a gentleman called darkforestzero posted a comment on my Volca sample tutorial that there's an actual way to do it, and it's not from the key step, but it's from the Volcas. And when you turn it on, if you hold down function while turning it on, you can see the global parameters on the various Volcas. In this case, he's saying if you push 6, it's going to set the MIDI clock to be the internal source, like so it's going to pick up the MIDI clock from the Volca, and then push record to save it. And then he says this will stop the Volca from being affected when you push record, stop, and play. So I'm like, oh really? Is that easy? No. So let's give it a shot. So let's go ahead, hold down function while we turn this guy on, and you can see 1 is lit up, 6 is lit up, 7 is lit up, and 10 is lit up. So I'm going to disable 6, which he's saying is the MIDI clock, and I'm going to hit record to save that. So let's go check it out now. I just got to set this up to play nice with my key step. Let's go ahead and use the Pagin firmware so I can play samples chromatically again. Cool. Now let's try enabling the ARP on the key step and see if it will trigger. See, push play. I got the ARP. So I can now turn the ARP on, and I can trigger sequences on the key step without triggering the sequencer on the Volca. So for now, I got in sequence mode. I know people on the Pagin custom firmware were saying, hey, I've recorded a sequence on my key step, but whenever I try to push play to enable it on the sample, it's triggering the sequencer on the sample. Well, if you turn off global setting 6, it won't. So there you go. Now let's see if it's more universal. Actually, before we try another Volca, what I was worried with disabling that setting is I like to use these with my digitone. I think that's actually how you pronounce it. I've been always called it the digitone, but I think it's actually called the digitone, or that's completely wrong. Anyways, I'm gonna plug it in now. You can't see it; it's off camera. And I'm plugging the MIDI out from the digitone to the MIDI in on the sample, and I just got a simple so it's a very slow 69 beats per minute there. Let's crank it up here. So it's still keeping in track whatever the MIDI clock on the digitone is, and I'm assuming with whatever else device, including the key step. So you're okay. It's not going to screw up that compatibility. So I think from just these quick tests here, it's a pretty damn good fix for using the key step ARP and sequencer with the Volcas, and from what I can tell so far has no ill effect for at least how I use it otherwise. So maybe before I turn it off here, feel free to crash out if you want at this point in the video, but I'm just going to plug in I got Volca keys over here. So let's turn off the sample, and we're just going to see if the same holds for the keys, and if it holds for the keys, then I'm going to assume it's going to work the same way across the whole Volca line. That's a hell of an assumption, so read your manual before you trust me blindly, but let's give it a shot with the keys here. And if I'm a betting man, then I would say it's probably universal across the various volcas. So let's see. Hold down function, turn it on. And what do you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is on. Let's disable that guy. Let's hit save that. All right. It's booting up. All right, good. It booted up. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, cool. All right, we got anything saved on here? Nope, so let's just save something quick. All right, let's turn that off. Let's go here, turn, oh, set it to the right channel, channel 1. Let's try channel 2. Nope, channel 3. Nope, channel 4. Alright, come on. What the hell is going on? Oh, you know what would be good? If I actually plug the MIDI cable into the Keystep. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Alright. Are you channel 1? No. Channel 2. There we go. Alright, beautiful. Alright, let's try turning on the ARP and see if it triggers the sequencer. No. Perfect. You get the idea. It doesn't sound good, but let's try the sequencer. Oh. All right, let's try recording something on the sequencer. See, push record doesn't trigger record there. What have I done? There it goes. It's just too fast. Anyway, there you go. I won't waste any more of your time. So, if you want these buttons to play nice with your various volcas, once again, and you don't want them to trigger the sequencer on these guys, when you hold it on, when you turn it on, hold down function, power, hold down power a little bit longer than I did there. If 6 is on, turn it off, hit record the save, and that should allow you to use the Keystep ARP and sequencer without triggering the sequencer on the volcas. And I forgot the gentleman's name, but thank you again to Mr. darkforestzero for passing that information along to me. Big help to myself, and I'm sure to many who come across this video. Okay, thanks guys. I'll see you next time.